up, guys? If you want to get wider shoulders, bigger shoulders, rounder shoulders, more developed, well-balanced shoulders, then today's the day. So today, we're obviously training shoulders. For shoulders, I like to follow a back to front approach. And what that means is I like to start with my rear delts first, then I move to the lateral head, which is the outside of the shoulder, and then finally finish up with the anterior, which is the front. So why is that? Well, because most people have a lot of anterior delt development, and that's from all the presses that we do. When we're training chest, we end up hitting a ton of anterior delts. So most people don't have a problem with anterior delts. It's the lateral head and it's the posterior, the back of the shoulders, that most people lack development in. So we're gonna start off our first exercise here. This is gonna be a superset. We're gonna start with a cable exercise, and then we're gonna move over to a dumbbell. First, we're gonna start right here. We're gonna do a cable fly. So you can see I'm grabbing handles with opposite hands, and I'm gonna pull out. So first set, I like to do 20 reps. It's dual purpose. It's a warm up, but it's also still a true working set, so don't go too light. I want 20 to be a challenge. There's 20. So I still use dumbbells. I just go ahead and I work the muscle in the full range of motion with cables, and I come over here, grab my dumbbells, go light. This is one of the keys to training shoulders effectively, especially with isolation exercises. Go lighter than you're used to, because we're trying to target the delts, not engage other muscles. So, I'm leaning it right here. Now again, I have no range or resistance right here, so I start my range of motion here. It's from here, squeeze out. You're also keeping constant tension on the muscle, as opposed to coming here where I can let it hang and rest. Right out to the sides, not back, but out. We're gonna do 20. These are only 15-pound dumbbells, but trust me, after 20, you're gonna be crying. All right, it's 20. So that's my first set. Second set, which I'm doing the exact same exercise, but now I'm going up in weight slightly and going from 20 reps to 10 reps. Don't squeeze down low like this. I want you to squeeze out. My arms, at the very least, are level with the floor, if not just a hair higher is what I prefer. 10. All right. So grabbing a slightly heavier weight. Besides not being able to rest at the bottom, by starting out here, you're keeping yourself from using momentum. If I start here, where I've got no resistance, I can build speed and momentum at the beginning to swing it up, and I want you to do that. That's why I want you to start here. Okay, as my second superset, 10 reps. I'm gonna repeat the exact same thing for set 3. So going back over here to cables. So we're gonna come back here, finish up third set of these. You also see that I'm bringing it slightly forward. In other words, I'm not coming out here. Coming here just a little bit. Not too far forward, but just a little bit. Whew. That's 3. 4 sets total. So what I do is I come back and I start with my original weight that I did for 20 reps. And now I'm targeting about 15 reps. One more. The bigger, more dominant muscles have a tendency to take over in a lot of these exercises, and that's why I talk about mind-muscle connection. It's really focusing on that muscle that you're trying to work and consciously work that muscle and try not to engage those other muscles any more than necessary. So now, in our back to forward philosophy here, we're gonna move on to the lateral head, which is the outside of your shoulder, and that's what's going to give you that width. Our combination, our superset combination here for the lateral head is just like rear delts. We're coming over here and we're starting with cables, and then we're gonna go ahead and superset those with dumbbells. So I step far enough away where I can get tension all the way out here with my arm crossing my body, and I'm gonna swing out just like that. So again, don't think about squeezing up. I want you to think about squeezing out that way. Not up, but out. 20 reps, here we go. One more. Switch sides. All right. So there's 20. Again, we have resistance all the way through the range of motion. So now we're gonna come over and we're gonna do dumbbells. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna bring our arm up to our side. I don't have any resistance here, so don't even start in front of you. I see a lot of people start here. There's no resistance from here to here. So that's just giving you room to build speed and momentum to swing it up. I don't want you to do that. So you start with your arms out at your side, just like this. Out to the side, straight arms. Don't come forward, don't do this. Right out to the sides. Now I talk about, it's hot, sweating. Talk about going light. Going light is the key, because if I go too heavy, I'm gonna start getting sloppy. I'm gonna try to use momentum to swing it up. I'm gonna start shrugging my shoulders to get it up, then I'm gonna engage my traps. All right, that was set number 1. We've got 3 more to go. Had a hard time with that. 3. I don't agree with the traditional thinking that you have to move heavy weight in order to make a muscle grow. That's not true. You have to make a muscle work hard in order to make a muscle grow. So there's other ways to make a muscle work hard than just picking up heavy weight. So what I'm trying to do is share with you guys all the lessons that I've learned through the years, through all the mistakes that I've made, the mistakes that all of us have made. Lactic acid's building up in there. Okay, here we go. 4th and final set of these. One more. So we have just hammered rear delts and hammered the lateral head of your delts. So now we're gonna move over and we're gonna work a little bit of the anterior delt along with the lateral head, and that's gonna be starting with a press. Just like my other exercises, it's the exact same set and rep structure. First set, 20 reps. You'll notice I'm sitting on a flat bench. I don't have a backrest, say for example this one that's right next to me. Why is that? Well, because I find that when people use this, they have a tendency to cheat. They start sliding down like this, the butt slides down. What's happening here is I'm engaging my upper pecs in this movement as well. That's why I don't lean back and have that support. So 20 reps. And what I like about dumbbells is I also have increased range of motion, so instead of just pressing straight up, I can come in just a little. So out wide and into the middle. Oh, man. Whew. Now, I don't bring the dumbbells too close to my head because you can see, if I do this, look at the angle here at my elbow. What ends up happening is I end up using even more triceps. So I like to start at about a 90-degree angle at my elbow and then just squeeze up slightly. I don't try to clank them together like most people do. I'm going to superset these with upright rows. But I talked about this in other videos. If you want to target your deltoids as opposed to your traps with upright rows, a couple things you have to focus on. One is hand position. Don't go narrow. If I go narrow, that's going to be a lot more traps. So one, I go wide, and the other thing is my elbow position relative to my body. If I'm using a bar and I bring it up, you can see my elbows pointed forward. I start engaging a lot more anterior delt. I like to keep my elbows back slightly. So I actually use plates so I can keep them close to my body, keep my elbow more out to my side. Keeping a wide starting position and pulling straight up. By going wider, I am hitting my delts more and engaging the traps a little bit less, but I'm still engaging my traps, but that's okay. Why? Because I still train upper traps on shoulder day. I train the middle and lower portion of my traps on back day. And when we do back day, I'll cover more of it, but the trapezius is called the trapezius because it's shaped like a trapezoid. So it kind of looks like a diamond. So it starts up high, underneath the base of your skull. And then you can see this portion right here, it fans out and then it comes back in. So the upper portion is going to help elevate your scapula like this. It's going to help lift your shoulders. So any of these pressing movements where our shoulders are coming up, you're going to engage your traps. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna move into our second and third sets, which are working sets, 10 reps. So we'll go up a little bit in weight here. Right back to my upright rows. If at this point in the workout you're not dying, if your shoulders aren't burning, then you're not doing it right. It's my third set, 10 reps. Now, I always get some wise ass that talks about my form and shoulder injury. Oh, that's a nice way to impinge your shoulder. Look, if I was lifting heavy, yeah, I would come in here, I would have a much narrower position, and I would go ahead, I'd bring my elbows forward just a little bit, I would engage a lot more in my triceps, and I'd press a lot heavier weight. But I'm not moving heavy weight. Again, this is all about using lighter weight, strict form, and trying to target a muscle. This isn't just trying to do a compound movement as heavy as I can. So lighter, and I come out wider. Whew. All right, third set upright rows. Go nice and wide. Shoulder width. Woo. All right, fourth final set. Original weight, 15 reps. Okay. So, I've said this in other videos. I don't do any specific anterior delt work. So what would that be? Well, that would be any front raises. So whether I was using dumbbells or whether I was using cables, that's bringing your arm in front of you. It's called shoulder flexion, just like this. And that's the primary role of your anterior delt. So I don't do any specific anterior delt work because, again, I'm working it here in these presses. Even on these upright rows, I'm working it, but especially on chest day with any of my presses, especially incline press for upper chest, getting a ton of anterior work. So instead, on my shoulder day, I want to focus on the rear delts and the lateral head of the delts. We're going to move into some work for our traps. And so this is specific just for our upper traps. And so we're going to go with shrugs. Besides elevating your shoulders, like I talked about, what else did we talk about your traps do? Well, they also squeeze your shoulder blade back. So even though I'm not trying to work the middle portion of my traps yet, instead of standing totally upright, I like to lean forward just slightly. And so I'm not just squeezing towards my ears, I'm squeezing back, almost like I'm trying to squeeze up towards the back of my head. I don't know if you can see my shoulder blades kind of squeeze back a little bit. Now remember, keep your arms relaxed. Think of your hands just like from shoulder to hand like hooks. In other words, don't move your arms at all. Just because the weight's moving doesn't mean you're using your traps. I could get a lot of range of motion moving my arms a lot. And it's easy to do subconsciously. So let your arms just hang. Just think about your shoulder blades. All right, so I'm gonna go up a little bit heavier, not too heavy, because I don't want to sacrifice form. There we go. All right, one more set of these for 10, and we go back to our original weight. There we go, full range of motion. One more set after this. That's it. It's good because I'm tired and sweaty. All right, last set. Here we go, 15 reps. There we go. All right, so that was just for upper traps.